I love them because they are accessible and because they are proven. They work, and I believe what works. So I've done a lot of galas, I've done a lot of golf tournaments, I've done every kind of event that you can think of, and I can tell you that walks are the model that is the most successful. After 9/11, there were, when most of you were in elementary school, the nonprofit community was hit pretty hard because everybody was giving philanthropically to the Red Cross and to organizations that supported fire, and organizations that supported the police. Rightfully so. I mean, we all felt the same way. But it was a terrible time for other nonprofits across the country. After our economy kind of tanked in 2008, same situation. All of a sudden, nonprofits are scrambling. The old models aren't working. Even if you had money as a corporate sponsor, you didn't necessarily want to put your name on a gala event or a golf tournament or something that was perceived as exclusive because people were hurting across the country. And suddenly it seemed inappropriate to be spending money on an event where the centerpieces were $100 and just the AV alone might be $10,000 or $15,000. So the walk model, which has existed for a long time, March of Dimes has been doing walks for about 45 years, Heart Association for about 40 years. The walk model is the one thing that has always weathered the storms, whatever they are, after 9/11, after 2008. Not to say that people didn't go backwards in some areas. Many areas did, but across the board, it was the one thing that maintained. And it was the first thing that started showing growth when things started to turn around. And I really believe it's because it's totally accessible. Anybody can participate. It's not exclusive. You don't have to pay $500 for a gala ticket. You don't have to pay to be in a $1,200, $2,500 golf foursome. Anybody can participate in a walk. And so it opens up the potential and to the entire community. And I think people respond to that. People like that. They like to have an event that is open to everyone. And statistically, it bears out. Best Buddies has really been doing these friendship walks as a model branded event for about 2 years. This will be our 3rd year. There have been walks that have gone on for longer than that. There are some areas that have done walks for years and years and years, but really as like this modeled event with the logo and the best practices and the materials available and certain things that we do, like not charging a registration fee. That's very, very new for us. And I'll be honest with you, Anthony was not a fan because Anthony Kennedy Shriver is entrepreneurial. He is an out-of-the-box thinker. So he doesn't want to do what everybody else is doing. If it was up to him, we'd be doing bungee jumping, competitions or, something really out of the box that other people don't do. But enough people at headquarters had experience with walks being very successful that they were able to push through this idea that, look, this is a perfect fit with Best Buddies and with our mission. Give us the tools, let us try this out. And the first year that we as an organization really did this model of walk, the walks, and there were only 21 of them, made $1 million. Well, suddenly Anthony was interested. He was like, whoa, this looks like this could be good for this organization. If we can make $1 million in our first year, hardly doing any of these, just to give you guys a frame of reference, this year I think we did about 25 walks, and the American Heart Association did 453 walks. So this is very new. We're tipping our toe into the very beginning of the potential of success that these events can be. And the growth that we've seen is tremendous. We don't have all of our final budget figures in yet, but it's looking like across the board our walks increased about 25% from 2012 to 2013. That is tremendous in a recovering economy. It is unheard of. In a great economy, the standard best practice for success for any event from year to year is 20%. if you can have 20% growth on a gala, on a golf tournament, on a wine event, whatever it is, that is considered a success. That's in the best of times. We are still not in the best of times, and we're looking at about 25 to 26% growth across the board, across the country. So you have signed up for the winner. This is the winning event for this organization, for every organization. But I will tell you, I think the walk model fits so well with Best Buddies. I worked for the Arthritis Foundation, and I did walks. Arthritis, walking, it's not really a natural fit. And those were very successful events. That is their #1 fundraiser. So for Best Buddies, it just fits perfectly with what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring a community together inclusively. And it's such a great venue for us to show people our mission. What is more perfect than seeing a group of people all having fun at the same event, having total accessibility, laughing, you know, everything that you see in this picture. And it's everybody together, people with IDD, people without IDD, people in wheelchairs, people, you know, whatever. It's everybody together, so it fits so perfectly with us. And that's why I think Best Buddies is having such tremendous success with it. You guys have, I think in your packet, did you include those, Caitlin? So the National Event Standards is just a list that you can kind of look at and refer back to. These are the model. This is the model. Here's what you need to do in order to be a Best Buddies Friendship Walk. These are the things that you have to follow in order to qualify. And this is based on a lot of people like myself who came from other organizations and basically stole the ideas that worked. So this is a lot of talking and thinking and strategizing on what's going to be the best practices that are going to make us all the most successful. The National Pace Setter Program is something different. That is, you have a handout for that as well. This was just established this year in 2013, and it is kind of like the next step. The Pace Setter is, we've given you the standards, we've given you the basics. Now the Pace Setter is for those events and committees that want to take their event to the next level and want to ensure their success. So if you hit these Pace Setter milestones, you are guaranteed that your walk is going to be successful, that you're going to blow your goal out of the water. And I think you guys are right on track. I mean, you're doing great. So keep those and refer back to them, and it will kind of like keep you guys on track for your meetings and for your strategy and for where you're focusing, so that you make sure that you're kind of like following the menu. It's not rocket science. It is a science, but it's walk science. And it's easier. It's more accessible. There are definite things that you can follow and things that you can do that will ensure that you're very successful. Part of the Pace Setter program awards is that your walk is recognized at Leadership Conference. How many people here have been to Leadership Conference? It's amazing. If you've never been, you have to do it. It is life-changing experience. You will, if you feel like you totally get the mission, you will go to Leadership Conference, and all of a sudden you'll be like, oh my gosh, now I really understand it. I'll tell you, I have a kid with IDD. I have a son with autism, my younger son. And you would think I would totally get it. And it really wasn't until I went to Leadership Conference that I got the scope. When I looked into this auditorium filled with 2,000 of the best and brightest kids from across the country, and I realized that they were embracing inclusion not just for people with IDD, but for everyone. That they're going to take this out into their lives, into their jobs, and they're not going to judge people the way so many people do, based on how they look and their religion and where they're from, and that they were open and willing and happy to embrace everyone, and that was huge. So at Leadership Conference, the Pace Setter walks were recognized this year. This was our first year of doing that Pace Setter program, and we had 4 walks that actually hit all the milestones. And so the walk chairs and their staff lead got to be recognized on stage with Anthony, and Here's a picture of the group from Indiana. And so that is another thing. You actually get some benefits for your walk. You'll actually get some, I don't think we have the internal benefits on here, but you get a little bit more freedom with your budget the following year, so that you can make a case for saying, we're elevating this event, we want to be able to use a little bit more money. Maybe we want to increase our expense ratio slightly so that we can start competing with all of the big events that are in San Francisco. So there's a lot of reasons why you want to hit that pace setter mark. So keep that in mind, and like I said, refer back to that when you guys have your meetings.
Can I just say, we are right on track. So it's recruit key committee members at least 6 months prior to the walk, and it's 6 months prior to the walk. So thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
So we're on the right track.
Yeah, you guys have your location nailed down, you have, all of that. So Caitlin took me out yesterday. It's pretty amazing. Probably it has to be one of the prettiest walks in the country.
That's why our pictures are used in all the
Yes.
PowerPoint.
That's true.
I totally saved them all. I've been using them. Sorry.
So, you guys are scheduled just to take a short, 5-minute break right now. So, there's restrooms out the store, and they're right down the hallway. And we'll just take a quick break and come back.
There's also a water fountain out there, and if you have a water bottle, there's a water bottle refilling thing. So,
There's lots of coffee too. Don't make me go back with full coffee.
Did you have any questions about the walk so far?
on my thing it says